managed to catch up. They managed to break this bad habit with Summit in their last game, but it remains to be seen if they can maintain that going into this game against the Farmers, but with the lead they have right now, it shouldn't be too much of a problem for them to maintain their lead.
Jacqueline Knapp with the steal. She decides to take it slow, take the three, and she is off the mark. So we'll see the Farmers walking this one up. Jacqueline Knapp went 2 for 2 from the line just a moment ago to score the first 2 points of this second half. There's Riddick all the way to the cup, and she misses at the goal. Coming down with it is Nika Moneme, but she has that one taken away. Here's Jacqueline Knapp on the run. Knapp will hand that one off to Devitt, and the Westfield Blue Devils will take this one slow. This is Olivia Luzzi at the top. She'll take that one all the way to the hole and get fouled. So Luzzi will now go to the line. She has 2 points on the day, opportunity to get to 4.
And then again, you see it right there, just communication. You see the screen come up. Nobody came out, to check, who was that? It seemed like nobody came out to check Luzzi as she was running towards the basket until the last minute. Moneme had to run all the way from her assignment to foul her on purpose. Communication is just a big thing for Union right now. Nobody's really talking.
And that's pretty much the story of the Farmers so far in this game. A lot of miscommunication, and the Moneme sisters holding the Farmers down for the majority of the game, responsible for most of the 15 points that the Farmers have at the moment.
Each of the Moneme sisters has 5 points on the game so far. And they've really been the rock so far of this game, and they just keep trying to go into Moneme sister. This time, Dora Moneme fouled from behind. That would be a non-shooting foul, so the Union Farmers will take this one out under their own basket.
But you really got to give a lot of the credit to Montez and Devitt down low for keeping Moneme sisters, under control, because most of their baskets have been anonymous, unless it was from a turnover.
Absolutely, Westfield knows exactly that the Moneme sisters are a force to be reckoned with, so that's exactly why they were able to address it and hold it down, and that's why I think Westfield is also doing so successful right now, because they've handled the Moneme sisters for the majority of this game.
Looked like Montez was called for the pushing foul there, so the Union Farmers take this ball back to Cedar. That one's tied up as Cedar lost the handle. Lillian Scott jumping in there to tie it up, and the possession hour still pointing to Union. But a good job there by Scott to get in there. For the third time now, we'll see Riddick throw this ball in. This time they get it out to Cedar. There's Chain with the three. That one rims out. But broken up there by Dora Moneme, and she'll take this 2 from in close. That one's off the mark. Finally coming away with it here is Jacqueline Knapp. She'll push this one up. High dribble there by Knapp. Lucky she wasn't called for the walk there. There's nice inside passing there. Devitt goes up with the left hand and puts it in. Shannon Devitt with her first 2-point field goal of the day. She is on the board. That was a beautiful pass by, I think, Luzzi.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, beautiful pass by Luzzi to find Devitt inside. And, that's Devitt's first 2 points. Maybe they might want to go down to her a little bit more. She's been doing a good job on defense. Start to reward her on offense a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead, Justin.
Absolutely. Like you said, Devitt and Luzzi have been controlling the Moneme sisters, giving them a hard time. So it seems only right that they've been given the opportunity now to score.
That was the first 2-point field goal there by Adora Moneme of this second half. She went up with it, and we were talking a lot, guys, in that first half about the beautiful passing of the Westfield Blue Devils, and that shows here in the second half with that pass by Luzzi.
Yeah, this team is just really well coached, and everybody's really not selfish. Nobody's out there, just to play just for them. And it shows in their record. There's some games that they lost. They faced the Patrick School. They faced Roselle Catholic, who edged them out a little bit. But this team is definitely going to be somebody to watch in this Watchung division.
Yeah, this team coached by Liz McKeon, this Westfield Blue Devils team, and she has done a fantastic job with this program. Here we see Adora Moneme. She has that ball stripped by Knapp, and then looks like they're going to get Knapp with the foul as Chain tried to go around her. That is the second foul on Jacqueline Knapp. Not a lot of foul trouble here, just one player for each team with 3 fouls. Look like it's a Montez and Nika Moneme with the fouls. Here we see Jacqueline Knapp bring this ball up. She gets it to a wide open Scott Hole drive on the baseline. She has that one blocked by Nika Moneme, and then a jump ball as Moneme goes crashing to the floor, and this time Westfield will take it off the possession arrow.
Yeah, Scott tried to take that one against Monet, but you know the height advantage was just a little bit too much for her that time.
There's the three by Lillian Scott. That one off the mark, an air ball, but goes right to Montez, who puts it up with the left hand. Good awareness there by Montez. That's her 4th point of the game. And that time a rare air ball that we've seen from Lillian Scott. She has 9 points on the game. There's a 3 by Chain. That'll brick off the mark. Oh, and then a big tumble there. Jacqueline Knapp's going to be called for her 3rd foul. Nope, I think they're just going to say it was out of bounds. We saw a big, hard fall there by Adora Moneme, and Knapp was there. Looked like they called a foul, but they did not. So Jacqueline Knapp will stay at 2 fouls here. Lillian Scott to bring this ball up. She's got 2 on the switch. Here's Jacqueline Knapp giving this ball up. There's the 2-pointer by Lucy, and she puts it in. Olivia Lucy having an active second half here, as the lead is up to 23 now for this Blue Devils team.
Everybody's starting to get active now. Lucy's starting to score Montez, and you see Devitt scoring. It's just not Scott and that we really, like we saw in the first half. Now everybody's starting to get into the scoring game, and it's just, you know, just beautiful offense by Westfield.
And it's the perfect time to do so as well. You know, Westfield is comfortably in the lead with 40 points, so now is the perfect time for some of the players with a little less points on their stats to build that up here.
A tough shot by Reddick, and then coming down with an even tougher rebound was Adora Moneme, and she got that one up and good. So Moneme now with 9 points. There's Jacqueline Knapp with the ball. And the Union Farmers going to do a whole lot here on both offense and defense if they want to catch up in this one. There's Lucy. Scott will take a far 3. That one clanks off the rim. And they're immediately going to call a jump ball here, and we'll have a couple of substitutions. Looks like this is Rinaldi coming in. Nope, this is Grace Elliott coming in for Westfield. And I believe Tala Honoret coming in for the Farmers, number 10. Here's Anaya Chain making her way around, and then she travels.
And you just mentioned a substitute coming in, Honorat for the Farmers, and that's one of the things that Union came in today with a disadvantage. They only have 3 subs at their disposal, so that's definitely something that, you know, all the players on the field right now, the fatigue is definitely going to get to them because they don't have as many substitutes to rotate through. So in comparison, Westfield has plenty of players to go through, so that's definitely not something that the Farmers wanted to come into today with.
Also in this game for the Farmers is Marlissa Shaw. I think we saw during the entire first half, I think we saw the same lineup for the Farmers. That goes to show how little of a
Lineup depth.
Yeah, how little of a bench they have to give up here. We'll see the Farmers push this one up. This is Honorat. Honorat picks up her dribble. Here's Ayana Chain. Chain's trying to look to get it into Monome. It looks like we have a foul, a non-shooting foul. Looks like that one's going to be on Devitt. I think that's our first foul. That is Devitt's first foul. She has done a fantastic job covering Adora Moneme, clearly one of the stars of this Farmer team. That one's going to go out to Chain. There's Honorat with an open 3. That one goes off the side of the backboard, but Adora Moneme there for the offensive board, and she puts it up for another 2. Moneme up to 11 points now. 3 two-point field goals here in this second half. There's Lillian Scott driving down the baseline. She finds a wide open Knapp. Knapp comes up short. There's Honorat. She's looking for somebody to give the ball up to. Knapp pressuring on Chain to get it over the timeline.
And that Westfield pressure has been one of the things that the Farmers have been having to deal with throughout the entire game. You know, just have too much pressure on them, and as a result, they've been acting in haste, and that's something you definitely can't do if you're trying to get some field goals in. But that's exactly what Westfield wanted them to do, and so far they've been getting hasty in their shots.
That time Devitt was fronting Moneme, and they got it over still to Moneme. I think that's the second foul now on Devitt.
You know, and I can't lie. You know, I'm really impressed that this Union team is 5-4, especially with the lack of substitutions or the lack of lineup that they have. You know, they've beaten a couple of I would say fairly good teams, or Saint Dominican. They beat they lost to Linden, but they have been doing a good job this year, even though they are lacking in scoring than they were from last year.
Here's Olivia Luzzi coming out. She tries to get that pass and sneak it in there. And looks like they're going to keep this one on the Westfield side as that one went off a Yana chain. A couple more substitutions came in for the Farmers.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Nice
they
pass.
get that one in. A beautiful pass from Scott to Knapp, and Knapp is fouled down low. Nice court awareness there from Scott to get that inbounds pass right into Knapp for the scoring opportunity.
They
Looks
just
like. Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, it just seems like they just know each other very well. Just took one look and then you just saw Nat go, or Scott, excuse me, go back court, for that layup. They didn't really even have to say anything to each other to know where each other's gonna
Yeah.
be.
Absolutely, certainly a risky pass, but the fact that they were able to pull it off just shows how much trust the players have in each other, and that's no surprise that they have a 20-point lead as a result.
Here you see the replay there. Beautiful cut there by Knapp, and Lillian Scott seeing it all the way and gets her the ball on the mark. So Knapp goes to the line for 2 more free throws, and she nails them both. Knapp is now up to 19 points on the game so far. And really the chemistry between this Westfield team, just the crisp ball movement that we've seen the entire time. As we see the shot and the make there by Kennedy Porter. That's her first time on the floor and with the 2 points there. But really the chemistry for this Blue Devils team is really incomparable. See Lillian Scott on the drive here. She finds player on the wing. Jacqueline Knapp will take a step in. That board taken down by Devitt. She misses the 2. Now pushing it is Honorat. Coming up behind is Jacqueline Knapp. Knapp has been all over the place this game. A lot of pokes away with those active hands by Knapp. We'll see a Yana Chain to pass this ball in to Honorat. And Honorat will take the contested 2. That one's blocked by Luzzi. Honorat will get it back, and she tries to go reverse, and that one fails. And that's how they will end this third quarter. So a little bit of a push there by the Farmers. They get up from 15 to 23, so 8 points there for the Farmers, but coming away with 11 in the quarter is the Westfield Blue Devils, and they'll lead this one going into the fourth, 42 to 23. We'll be right back here on Kane Live. Vinny Coronado back with Kevin Henry and Justin George here, starting out this fourth quarter between the Westfield Blue Devils and the Union Farmers. And right now the Blue Devils comfortably in the lead, 42 to 23 as we start the fourth quarter. Here's a Yana Chain. She had that one poked away. Here's Jacqueline Knapp on the run out. Knapp's going to get to the cup and lay this one in. So the beautiful game for Jacqueline Knapp continues as she now has 21 points.
And the Blue Devils are coming back from a unlucky streak, specifically in the third quarter. Normally they had a hard time with that, but they managed to break that streak with Summit, and it seems they continue having that good luck going into this. They were comfortably in the lead the entire game, really, and they haven't really had any difficulty thanks to players like Lillian Scott and Jackie Knapp, who've just been completely dominating, to say the least, when it comes to Westfield.
Ayana Chain threw that ball away. She will be taken out of the game. Coming back in now is Kaya Riddick. Here is Lillian Scott at the top of the key. She's looking for an opening as she's fouled by Porter on the left wing.
You would think since they have such a big lead, they would, put in their backups and give their starters a rest. But it seems like Westfield really has no problem, just running Union out the door right now. They're keeping Knapp and Scott in there. Knapp and Scott really still forcing turnovers and still scoring like they did in the first quarter.
Well, Westfield's coming off of a couple close games, so to them this probably seems like a breather, and they want to take every advantage of that they can get, especially with a lead like this.
Lillian Scott is hacked as she goes to the cup by Riddick. So Scott looks like she's holding her left hand there, I think. We'll see a replay here. She was fouled on that take. Maybe she's bleeding, I believe. Looks like she'll need a little bit of medical attention. But we'll have a stoppage in play here. 44-23, we'll be seeing Lillian Scott go to the line after this stoppage.
Yeah, we talk about Union, all the players they lost last year. Wendy Berry, 335 points. They lost Jasmine Bonaparte, 281 points. Honorat, really doesn't play. She's starting to see, I guess, playing time now since all these players are gone. And they really a 23 and 16 from last year is just really having trouble this year because of lack of depth.
We see Lillian Scott at the line here. Looks like she got that left hand taped up. It looks like she is okay. That is on her shooting hand. And she'll have that first one come out. So Scott, this is her first scoring opportunity of the second half. And she'll go 1 for 2 at the line. She has 10 points now on the game.
Good. And I was just about to say, if that doesn't scream take her out the game, then, I don't know what does. But, good job by the coach of, just taking her out. I hope she's sitting out for the rest of it because this game is already over anyway.
Yeah, Coach McKeon noticing that, and she immediately puts in Olivia Luzzi after the free throws. Here's Honorat with a contested 2. Jacqueline Knapp comes down with the rebound. She'll push this one in transition. Here's Knapp with the cross-court pass to Luzzi. And Luzzi will take this one out. Covered by Honorat here. Luzzi will get by her defender. Gives this one out to Grace Elliott. She has that pass picked off by Moneme. Moneme pushing it on the break now. Nice crossover there by Moneme and a fake. Jacqueline Knapp tried to go for the steal, but Moneme waited for Jacqueline Knapp to fly past her and went up with the 2.
Beautiful.
Let's see that replay.
Beautiful fake out there by Moneme, and just like that, Moneme sisters have been holding down the Farmers for the majority of this game, but fourth quarter is still down by 20. Remains to be seen. There's not much else the Moneme sisters can do at this point.
There's another steal by Adora Moneme. She goes up and misses, and then a foul as Riddick came down with the offensive rebound, and she went up again. So we'll see Riddick at the line. Back-to-back steals here by Adora Moneme. She has really been the rock so far, as Justin mentioned, for this Farmer team.
I mean, she just seems to be the only one playing hard on both sides, defensively and offensively. She's the one getting all the steals, one probably grabbing most of the rebounds right now, and the one probably putting up most of the points. Just Adora Moneme, just being dominant as she usually has, but she needs help. She needs help on the offensive side of the board, and she's really not getting it.
Yeah, not a lot of help for Adora Moneme on this game, as Kevin mentioned. She is the leading scorer with 13 points, and she's been pretty good on defense as well. As we see Kaya Riddick go 2 for 2 from the line, she's up to 5. And look at that, back in the game is Lillian Scott, and she immediately flies to the cup and misses that one. This one tapped out to Jacqueline Knapp, who nails the 2.
But, she complained to her coach as soon as she came out the game. She looked at her coach like, "Why are you taking me out?" And she really wanted to get back in. She was itching, on the sideline back there, and you see her back in the game already trying to make a instant impact.
So it's been a beautiful game from both Lillian Scott and Jacqueline Knapp, 2 of the leaders for this Westfield team. That ball nearly thrown away here, but Riddick comes down with it, and they're going to say that Riddick picked up that pivot foot.
And the fact that Lillian Scott opts to come back in despite coming in this game with 10 points just show how much she's dedicated to staying with the players out on the court. That just goes to show how well the Blue Devils know each other, and that's very well responsible for their 20-point lead as we have a little over 5 minutes left in this fourth quarter.
As Scott takes that three straight away and misses. It really says something about the character of Lillian Scott. She wants to stay in this game and be out there with her team, as we see Chain with a missed three. Coming down with that rebound is, guess who? Adora Moneme. She goes up, thought she was fouled, but came down without the whistle. Here's Lillian Scott pushing it on the drive. Left-handed layup there for Scott, and she is good.
And they're just exhausting this Union team out, running up and down the court. You can just see, Union is huffing and puffing right now. If I were them, I would just slow this ball down, hold it as much as I can, and just, let this game be over.
Absolutely. It seems Union is acting in haste due to Westfield just applying the pressure, and that's causing them to mess up a lot of shots they normally would have got. Ayana Chain, for example, she leads her team in three-pointers, but we haven't seen too much from her in this game, and that may very well be just due to the pressure that the Blue Devils have been applying to the Farmers.
Yeah, some great defense from this Blue Devils team the entire game. We talked about it from start, and it's nearly finished now as we get to the midway point of this fourth and final corner. There's a nice pass from Scott into Montez, who drives down the lane and lays that one up lefty.
And, as this game ticks down, I would just wonder, I would want my backups to play, and get some playing experience just in case one of my starters go down. This game is already over. I would see, some of these substitutions come in who doesn't get playing time just in case you need them later in the season. But they just seem like they're going to be sitting on the bench watching Scott score the rest of these points.
Scott coming into this game leading her players, and yeah, like Kevin, you would think that some of the starting lineup would take a seat to some of the newer players, but nope. It seems Scott and Knapp are content with staying on the court as long as possible.
Yeah, in that last fast break, we saw Lucy with the beautiful no-look pass to Jacqueline Knapp, who scored her 24th and 25th points of the game. And just like you said, Kev, we're going to see a couple of reserves come in here. Jacqueline Knapp will leave the game probably for the last time with 25 points. Also leaving this game is Olivia Lucy. She had 5 on the day. Coming in, it looked like it was Danielle Rinaldi. And I'm not sure who the other player was. Looks like the other player is number 11, Jamie Miller, who came into that game. So at the line for 1-1 here is Allison Cedar. She made the first one. So here she is at the line for the second. That was just Cedar's first point of the game, and she hits her second as well. So now see Rinaldi, a newer faith, throw this one into Scott. And now that Knapp is out, Scott will take over the reins at point guard. Rinaldi double teamed here, and they're going to call a foul. I believe that foul is going to be on Chain, number 3. We'll see who they give it on. Yep, it is number 3, Chain. That's her first foul of the game.
We mentioned in the first half it was a fairly clean game as far as fouls go, but in the second half it seems, the Westfield are not afraid to keep that up. 14 fouls between both teams.
Scott just throws that one in, lofts it up. And there's one of the Moneme sisters with the attempt. There's the other one, and looks like that was Adora Moneme that got it to go in. She will go to the line for an and 1 situation. 15 points now for Adora Moneme. Chance to go for 16 here.
And this has been a really, really hard 16 points, She has not really gotten any open boards, Some of her shots have come from, fast break points and stealing the ball, but, all those points she's really earned down low.
Oh, nearly a nice move there by Rinaldi. She took 2 long steps, but Riddick wasn't fooled. She blocked that one in transition as Moneme went 0 for 1 from the line on the 3-point attempt. Here's Rinaldi with this ball. Gets that one out to Scott. Scott will drive the lane and leave it off for Montez. Montez tries to pass that ball up, but it is stolen by Riddick, who's pushing this one now. Nice pass up to Nanika Moneme, who misses that 2-point attempt down low. Here's Scott pushing this ball back. Scott will go to that left hand, lay it up, and that one is not good.
You mentioned left hand lane, Vince, the same one that she had gotten injured previously. She's not afraid to use that, so it must have not been too serious. At least the fact that she's still in the game now, like despite being taken out earlier, seemingly for that injury, that just goes to show she is ready to um, boost her stats as much as possible and keep the team in the lead.
Liz McKeon calls a timeout, noticing the fast pace and Lillian Scott slowing that ball down. Lillian Scott with 12 points on the game. You mentioned, Justin, that hurt left hand. We saw her after she was fouled at one point go immediately over to the bench and have that hand taped up, which caused a stoppage of play. And then her coach took her out, and as Kevin mentioned, she was itching to get back out there and finally pleaded with the coach and was able to get back out there.
I mean, and we let's not forget about Nap. You know, who has that knee taped. You know, highly taped up. You know, she's been playing with that hurt knee this whole game. You know, out there talking with a trainer right now about if she's fine or comfortable with that knee. Probably not going to see it for the rest of the game. But a lot of players on this team getting hurt. You don't want Lillian and Nap getting hurt or going sideline because that's your two main scorers.
Absolutely, especially considering the performance they put here. You want that in future games to come. So it's important that they don't exert themselves too much here, and I think they realize that as well. So wouldn't be too surprising if they just sit this one out for the majority. Still not a lot of time left remaining in this game anyway.
Yeah, it looks like Grace Elliott, who is throwing this ball in, came in for Lillian Scott. So most likely those two stars will sit out the rest of the game. Here we see Danielle Rinaldi with this ball. 53-31 in favor of the Blue Devils. Nice pass there by Rinaldi to the wide open Devitt, who lays that one up and in. A lot of left-handers on this team. Either a lot of left-handers or they're very proficient with both hands. As we see Devitt back on the board. She has 4 now in this second half.
Yeah, this team is just very fundamental. They're really textbook type of team that you would see. They don't really try anything too fancy. They pass the ball around. They keep the ball active on offense. And that was just a really nice pass inside to Devitt.
Going to line here for 2 is Allison Cedar. She is 2 for 2 from the line so far. Make it 3 for 3 there, as the Farmers are in the double bonus. Just under 2 minutes left in this second half, and it has been all Blue Devils here in this one from start to finish. I think they started out with a 13-1 run in the first half, and since then it's been all Devils. But here, Adora Moneme goes up, that contested shot. She'll grab her own miss, go up. She grabs her own miss once again, and that ball got knocked out of her hand. There's clearly a push there on Nika Moneme.
A little bit aggressive down low there. I mean, the Moneme sisters, playing aggressive to the end, but that was just a ugly push that time.
Yeah, there was a nice steal there by Moneme. She missed 2 straight, and she finally had the ball knocked out of her hands. But here we see Grace Elliott go to the line for 1-1. Elliott has no points on the day, so here's an opportunity for her to get on the board.
And how many times have you seen Moneme steal the ball today? I mean, she might actually, be close to 10 steals right now to go along with her countless rebounds and already in double digits in points. So it'll be interesting to see the stat sheet after this game.
Absolutely, and she had an opportune moment right there for a layup, but the Westfield Blue Devils quickly caught on to that and just applied the pressure. That was the result. She just could not get out of that, and just the double team was difficult for her to face alone.
Here we see Cedar with the ball at the top of the key as Chain. We try to get that one into Moneme. Nika Moneme, she is double teamed, has the first one blocked, and she is fouled on the second attempt.
That was that double teaming by the Blue Devils I was mentioning. Moneme sisters cannot compete with that, just not only in height, but, just the numbers in general could just stops any layup that she attempts to make.
Yeah, the double teaming duo of Shannon Devitt and Amalia Montes has worked well today on the Moneme sisters, who, this is Nika scoring her first point of the second half. Goes 1 for 2 at the line, but grabbing that rebound is Allison Cedar. And it looks like this is going to be a foul on the Farmers. I want to say that's Adora Moneme, I'm not sure. We'll see who they give it on.
Looked like it was on Cedar that time, but I'm not really sure. It looked like, Cedar got a little bit too aggressive that time.
It was on Moneme, though. So going to the line now is number 11, Jamie Miller. Her first trip to the line.
Jamie Miller, not a lot of points for her name, whole a grand total of 3 coming into this, so perfect, good idea for Coach McKeon to bring her in here and hopefully boost that for games to come.
You know, we talk about the Watchung division. This is a really competitive division. You know, you have New Providence in there, you know, Roselle Catholic in there. You know, we talk about the Patrick School in there. So this is going to be a very interesting, you know, Union County tournament coming up, especially, you know, the Roselle Catholic still being undefeated, projected to win. But if Westfield keeps this up, you know, they're really going to give Roselle Catholic a run for their money.
Here's Grace Elliott with this ball. She'll penetrate and is blocked down the lane. They get this one out, though, to Rinaldi. And there is another steal. This one by Nika Moneme. She'll drive this one down and lay it up and in. So Nika Moneme with 8 points now.
Just so long. I mean, and you have them seeing the perimeter, you know, of course they're going to, you know, grab a couple of steals, you know, just such a tall body and someone that is so active, you know, especially on the perimeter. You want her inside, but looks like she can D even a guard if she wanted to.
And she is right now, I believe. No, that's her sister. I think Adora Moneme is not in the game right now.
Yeah. Adora Moneme was doing the same, you know, when she was in the game. So, I mean, these are just two girls that do it both on the inside and outside of the ball. You know, if they just had a third, you know, scorer out there, maybe, you know, Chain, you know, started playing some defense and getting some shots up, you know, they can really actually not be 5-5. Maybe they can be like a 7-3 team or so coming into this game.
Danielle Rinaldi is fouled. She goes to the line for a 1-1 and nails the first, so she'll stay at the line for a second. Rinaldi with her 4th point, an opportunity to go for 5 here. And Rinaldi goes for 5 at the line. That gives the Westfield Blue Devils 60 points on the game. And it looks like this will be the last possession here for the Farmers. Honorat with this ball. Honorat will take that contested 2. That one clanks off the rim, and still fighting there is Nika Moneme. She'll put it up, and that one missed. Montez comes down with the rebound, and that will do it. As this one will end with the Blue Devils behind a fantastic showing from both Jacqueline Knapp and Lillian Scott, as well as the rest of the team will beat this Union Farmers team by a score of 60-36. Stay right here, because in just 20 minutes we will see the same contest, but with the boys here. The Union Farmers will take on the Westfield Blue Devils. That'll be coming up in about 20 minutes. So for Vinny Coronado, Justin George, and Kevin Henry, stay right here for Kane Live for the next one.